What's up, YouTube? It's the Duan, where shit gets real. And today we're going to be talking about this Kaees landmark by Kaees or Kaees by landmark. I think it's the landmark by Kaees or the Kaees by landmark, whatever. I don't know which one is the name or whatever. But it's a tank that was sent to me by either landmark or by Kaees. Okay, they sent it to me for a review, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna review it. Okay, this is the second one. The first one had a very bad issue. They sent me another one, and the second one does not have the issue of the first one. Okay, so you guys know me. I'm gonna tell it like it is. Whether I get it, I'm just gonna tell it like it is. Okay, this tank has a very unique filling, very unique way of filling it. Okay, and the way you fill it is you push the drip tip in and spin, and then these holes open up and you fill it. Let's see if I can show you. So that's open for filling. It almost looks like a Velocity with a big ass nose. And then you push it in and spin it, and now all those slots have closed off. Okay. Until I did this vaping show this morning, I thought this was the only tank in the world that you felt like this, until another reviewer showed me another tank. I forget the name of it, that it feels the same exact way. But it's the first one that I've seen, and the first one I've seen, ever that feels like this. But he told me that the other one didn't sell too well. Okay, so maybe that's the reason why I never saw it. This thing has a very, very, very unique RBA section. Okay, it's not going to be for you guys to just, it's not going to be a simple build. I did find a way to make the build a little more easier, and that's basically stealing a coil from another coil head. Okay, and what I did, I'll show you in a close-up, but I'm not going to show you how I did it, but I'm going to tell you how I did it right now. I put this in a vise, got a Dremel with a cutting wheel, and went zzz, and then on the other side, zzz, pulled it apart perfectly, and what was exposed was that perfect coil. Instead of trying to pull it apart and pull out the bottom, you always take the chance of stretching it, getting it all springy. I cut it in half, pulled it out, dry fired it, cleaned it up a little bit, and then put it in this RBA section. You'll see what I mean when I go into close-up. This close-up is not the greatest. I already recorded it. It's not the greatest, but just you'll get the idea. You'll get the idea. So I thought I might re-record the first part just to give you a fair warning. I was getting a little frustrated because it's so small and trying to show you how to do it. It's not the greatest close-up, okay? But I think you'll get the idea. And I also don't think I mentioned that the price that they want for this thing is 40 bucks, okay? 40 bucks. They're not in stores yet. They did send it to a couple of reviewers. Like I said, I was on a Google Hangout with ST Vapes. If you guys are not subscribed to ST Vapes, you guys need to check them out. I was on there with ST Vapes, Quest for Vape, Vaping Fagan, Heavy Metal Vapor, DJ, I forget his name, I can never say it, DJ something, and a couple other guys that was on there. Go check them out, but you can always watch the video on ST Vapors. So back to this. Right now I have the rebuildable section in here with crown coils in it. Okay, that's right, crown coils. Crown coils seem to fit the best in here, and of course I love the crown. I love the vape that it puts off, so I was trying to duplicate that into this. Okay, and I'm getting a so-so experience. Okay, let me take a toke. If I can get the cotton in there the way that they get it in there when they make these coils, it'll be the bomb. But since we don't have machines pressing and automatically put the cotton in there, this RBA section, I love that they put it out here like this, but it's going to be a challenge. I'm just going to tell you now, it's going to be a challenge to do. And I just hope in the future maybe they would do something like this, but more do it on the scale of the SMOC TF-V4. You know how those big ass coils are? Give us that type of room to work with, and maybe it'll be a hit. But this right here in this small form factor, it's going to be a challenge. Okay, but I give them an A for effort, because this is the first time I've seen something like this as far as the RBA section. So without me just keep rambling on, I'm just going to go to that part that I shot for this part. Let's go to that right now. All right, guys, we're up close with this Kaees. Comes in a package like this. Now, it does come with a metal, I mean, not a metal, a plastic cover for the top of it, but it always shoots off a glare off of it, so I just took it off. So it comes in a packaging like so. And on the back, let me take this stuff out so it doesn't fall out. On the back, it does have, see how that glares on there? It does talk about the landmark. Has a QR code and made in China, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So it says 1-piece landmark, 3-piece coils, 0.5, 0.2 ohm NI28, NI200, and RBA. 1 screwdriver, 1 organic cotton, 1 vape wire, and 1 user manual. I don't remember seeing a vape wire in here. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's in there. So they do give you some wire and some O-rings, as you can see, and a couple extra screws for the RBA section. Okay. Now this cotton that they give you, I'm not going to tell you what this little baggie reminds me of. But no, I don't do that. I don't do that. This is not about that, and I don't do that. But it does remind me of something. Okay. So the cotton that they give you a piece that looks like that kind of regular Japanese cotton that they just cut into a strip. Okay. And then they give you some of this. Okay. Those of us that took apart a pre-made coil, this looks familiar. Okay. So you usually wrap this on the outer edge of the coil. This part usually does not hit the actual coil. Okay. This part rests on the coil. This part goes on the outer edge, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay. So here's the tank. Here's the coils that come with it. It comes with the NI200, a 0.5, and the RBA section. Let's start off with the tank. So here's the tank. There's a glass, looks like an hourglass, and it does have juice control. You kind of spin this, and it spins. See that little hole? I can spin that. It's right here, that hole. And when I spin it, it spins around. Okay. So it does have juice control where you can shut it off or open it up to prevent leaking. But this thing seems to leak with certain coils in it. So I might as well jump right into that. With the NI200 coils, no matter what I do, it seems to leak. Okay. I haven't found a fix for it, but the it only works, it only leaks with the NI200 coil. The 0.5 coil, it doesn't leak. Don't leak. I think they may have not put enough cotton in it. It's got something to do with the cotton, because the design of that coil and the other coil is the same. The design of the 0.5 and the NI200, the coils look the same. It's just the amount of cotton in it. It's throwing it off. Okay, so let's open it up. Oh, let me show you how you fill it. Okay, so here's the top. That almost looks like a Velocity with a big ass nose. Okay, so how you fill it is you push this in and then you spin it, and as you can see, that bottom or that top, as you're looking at it, the top has opened up, and these little two little holes are for air as you're filling it. Okay, so see how it's opened up for you to fill, and then when you want to close it, you just keep spinning until everything lines up and it pops back out. Okay, so my issue with this is once I fill it, if I turn it upside down, juice will start to come out of these seams, and it looks like it's coming between, not these holes, it's between the cylinder and the actual base here. So see how I'm pushing it down? It seems like juice is coming from around this edge. I can't even point around that edge right there. Okay, so it's not airtight. Okay, and I'm thinking that's what's making it leak through the bottom as well. Okay, so let's take this bottom off and show you. There's your holes for your juice flow control. And the way it's designed, this is the most you can take it apart. Now you can take this drip tip off, but that's it. So to clean it, you have to run hot water down in there. This is how this is going to break down. That's it. Okay. That's the way it's designed. Okay. So for some of you that may be a con, you guys like to take everything apart and clean it all tidy. Me, I just run hot water through it and get as much of the gunk off of it as I can. Okay. So the base, it's your standard sub-ohm tank base. Don't let these big ass holes fool you, because you're only going to get what the coil is going to allow. And there's no way to shut off or tighten up your drawer. So basically with this one, and like a lot of other ones, if I close it off like that, let's see, I close it off like that, where I'm getting the same vape as if it was open all the way up. Okay, so if you notice, when I close this off, another one starts to open. That one starts to open. So no matter what you do, you're going to get the same airflow. That's open, that's open, that's open. So they designed it where so you can never really close off everything. Never. Never, never, never. Unless you got 4 fingers that hold them all like this. Get your fingers and nobody's doing all that. But you can't close, you can't, this airflow, it's really non-existent, okay? Non-existent airflow adjustment, because this vape is the same as that, it's 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 the same as that. It's all what's going to come through that hole, and what allows the air to come up through that hole right there. That's it. That's all the air you're going to get. And I will say, it's not a really tight drawer, and it's not a really airy drawer. It's somewhere in the middle for me. Okay, so that was the NI200 coil. This is the 0.5 coil. As you can see, they're on the smaller side, but this one does work. The 0.5 one does work. Now the NI200 one, it works as well, but it leaks. Okay, so I like that design where it has a 4 feet to let more air into that, but you're only going to get that much air coming through it. Okay, now here's the star of it right here. This is the RBA section. Okay, so first of all, see that little hole right there? It comes with screws to secure it down. And when I build mine, I only put 1 screw in there to hold it together, because I noticed when I had 2 screws on there, it's really hard to screw into the base. Let me show you the base. I didn't show you guys the base. Here's the base. It has that one big, looks like maybe brass or something down there to make its connection to that pin. And that pin is not protruding at all. So no hybrids on this, guys. None. Okay. So you put the screw in there to prevent this piece from spinning freely when you're screwing it into the base. Okay, so this piece comes off, and this area is where you would use this thinner cotton. You would wrap this one around this area, okay, like so, and then you would put this one on top. I'm not doing this on camera because it's hard enough to do it not on camera. This is a really tough coil to build. Okay, so I do have a coil in here, and this coil is from a Triton. Okay, and it's almost too big to fit in here. Okay, so let's take this apart best I can on camera. Okay, so what I did was I cut a coil with a Dremel pre-made coil. I cut it completely in half to get this coil out as perfect as I could without destroying it, okay? And I didn't clean this one up as tidy as I did the other one, but you get the idea. So cut the coils out, clean them up really good, and as you can see, these leads, let's see if I can get this to focus a little better. See those leads? See how thin they are compared to the actual coil in the middle? Those leads are non-resistance wire. And the coil is stainless steel. Okay, this is a Triton coil, so they're using stainless steel now, but you get the picture. It could be Kanthal, Ni200, Nichrome 80, whatever. This is non-resistance wire, and this is resistance wire. Okay, so you see how that's made. So in order to build properly on this RBA section, you're going to need to mend yourself together some non-resistance wire and resistance wire. And not a lot of us have the equipment to do that. So in building a coil like this to put in here with just Kanthal is going to be a fucking headache, and you know it. Okay, so I thought this was the most easiest way to do it. So, of course, it goes down in here like so, and then you would trap one lead against the wall, and another lead would come through the center. You guys know the drill. I'm not going through all that with you guys. If you guys don't understand how to do that, you shouldn't be trying to rebuild one of these things, okay? So let's put all this back together, and we can come back out. Let us focus. So first the rubber garment goes back in, if I can get it in my hand. And then this pin goes in. And then after you build it, you would put cotton in the center, around this coil. And then you would put cotton around the edge. And then it would fit together like so, okay? Like that. And that's your rebuildable section. Now, this is not for the average vapor. This is for somebody that knows what they're doing and likes rebuilding stuff like this. But I think this is unique. I think this is a step in the right direction, but this needs to be bigger. Maybe take after the Smock TFV4, how big those are, to give, us some more room to work on something like this, because this is not a lot of room, and this is going to be trouble. Now, I did manage to build one that works, and it's in here. It's not the best looking. Let me see if I can pull it apart and show it to you. But that, it's all gunky and dirty. That is a Doyle coil from a crown, okay? And I managed to get the cotton around there pretty good. The outer cotton, and I got the inner cotton, okay? I know that looks all gunky, but I'm vaping something juice that's already dark from the start, okay? As you can see, I got dual coils down in there, and that's from the crown. And this reads 0.3. On the crown, it reads 0.28 or 26, somewhere around in there. And it's supposed to be 0.25, okay? So I'm making a mess. Let's put this back together. And I've had success with this one. So let's go back up top and give you my final thoughts. Okay, so now you guys can better understand what I'm saying about this. I wish I could get this coil in there. This is the coil from the Triton. It's the 0.3 stainless steel coil. I wish I can get that in there, but like I said, it's not enough room to get that, the cotton, and then the other piece of cotton. It's just not enough room. So I like the idea. I like the effort, but I'm also having leaking issues. I'm having leaking issues when I put the Ni200 coils in there. The 0.5 regular coil, it works fine. It works fine. I vape it at 50 watts. I didn't get any leaking out the bottom, but every now and again, I would get some liquid at the top of the tank, right around that cylinder for the drip tip. Not in those holes where you fill it, around the cylinder for the drip tip. So it almost like it needs a better seal or a stronger spring to stop liquid from magically appearing on the area around my drip tip, okay? So every now and again, I'm finding myself getting napkins and cleaning it off. If I put it in my pocket, of course, that liquid is transferring to my pocket, and nobody wants, e-liquid in their pockets, okay? So they need to put a better spring on there or seal it up. But I like the idea. I like new ideas. I like, when we're trying to push the envelope, we're trying to do things a little bit different. I love the way you feel this thing. I love it, love it, love it. Like I said earlier, somebody else showed me, another vape reviewer showed me that there's another tank out there that does the same thing, but it wasn't that popular. So I like the way you feel it. The 0.5s, they work fine. The NI200 coils, they did leak. I thought it was just mine until I talked to some other reviewers and they said it leaked. But, so it's something with amount of cotton they're putting in there. Either they're putting too much or too little, but my guess is probably too little. And it's just leaking. Hey, it's not my job to figure out why it's leaking. It's just leaking. It shouldn't leak. I'm using 70-30. I see if I put in there some 20-80, when I mean 80 PG, I might see it leaking, but putting a higher VG juice in there shouldn't leak like it did. I mean, it actually ran all down the side of my mod and everything. So would I buy this one? Not just yet. Until they fix it, maybe come out with a version 2. It just is what it is. I shoot from the hip. I don't work for anybody. I tell you like it is. Okay, so I'm telling you like it is. I'm not trying to plug a company. If they company putting out something garbage, I'm not saying this is garbage. I like the direction that they're going, but it's got some issues. So it's got some issues right now. So maybe if they work those out, tweak those out, it'll be a good product for us to jump on and buy. But I will say this: I love the fact that they put that RBA section in there and the way that they did it. It's just very difficult for the average consumer to be able to mend together resistance and non-resistance wire to get it to work properly, because you all know that if you build a coil straight from Kanthal, eventually you're going to get some hot legs in those legs, okay? And then those hot legs are going to burn the rubber garments, and then the RBA section is going to be no more good, because guess what? They do not supply extra rubber garments for the bottom. Now, you could take the ones off the other coils and use them, but it's going to destroy them as well eventually. So it's almost impossible to do it correctly unless you did it the way Aspire and all the other good people do it. And those legs are non-resistance wire. Okay, you can actually see how thin that wire is, and look how thick the actual coil wire is. If I can get this thing to focus. But you guys saw it in a close-up. The actual coil on this one, it looks like it's like 22. There's some thick-ass wire. And then the non-resistance wire looks like it's about 26, 26, not 28, about 26. So, we don't have that luxury of having those type of, we're mending two wires together to make coils, okay? So, I like the idea. Maybe throw a couple of these in there so we can build them. I don't know. But I like the idea. I do. I really, really do. I like that idea, because I'm starting to become a fan, and I'm starting to become really lazy on building my own coils. I'm using sub-ohm tanks all the time now, and it's crazy. The market is flooded with them. I'm always got one in my hand. They're simple, they're easy. Don't get it wrong. I do drip. I drip when I'm home, but when I'm out and about, I fill one of these tanks up and I'm gone. Get me a unicorn bottle, fill it up with juice, and I'm gone. Let me take a toke. Woo! Right now I'm vaping on some donut, MF and donut glaze. I am fucking addicted to this shit. I am addicted. Addicted. But this is not about them. So let me wrap this up. If you know somebody that's on the stinkies and they mention to you, hey, you know what, I want to stop smoking. I tried the patch, I tried the gum, and you got some old equipment that you're not using, you know, give them your old equipment. You know, give them that equipment that you first started on. Maybe give them like a K-Fun, Aspire Nautilus. That would be perfect to give somebody a new vapor. Aspire Nautilus. Give them an old battery that you don't use anymore. You know, explain the battery safety, tighten up the airflow, give them some of your higher nicotine juice. You know, if they smoked a pack or more a day and you got some 6 or 12 laying around, hey, give it to them. Tell them where they can go buy different flavors. Tell them to check back with you in a week or so. In a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, send them in the right direction where they can buy their own. So, like I always say, if you can, pay it forward. But if you can't, fight for the right to vape. Get on Join Kaees, you know, find out what's going on in your area. Go down there, give your speech, write a letter, do something, make a phone call, because guess what, people? This right here may be taken away from us. It was a good conversation on the topic on my vape discussion with other reviewers today on ST Vapes. This may not be around in the next 3 to 5 years. You know, this may be like prohibition days, you know. So get out there, do what you can, fight for your right to vape. You know, a lot of us get paychecks. A lot of us spend money on stupid stuff from here all the time. You know, all the time we spend money on stupid stuff. You know what? Make it a practice. Give Kaees or your favorite organization, give them $5-10 a week. What's $10 a week? At the end of the year, you've given them, if you give them $10 a week, you've given them $520. That's not bad. That's, you know, that's something. And if you and 10 other people do it, if 10 other people do it, that's $5,200 that they got, you know? And, you know, that's just 10 other people. Think about if thousands of us do it. You know, they'll have enough money to lobby for the right to vape. You know, we can pay for lobbyists. We put lobbyists in front of these congressmen and try to convince them that, hey, this stuff right here is a safer alternative than smoking. It's not completely 100% safe, but it's a safer alternative, okay? So let's try to keep that in mind and stop, you know, we can't tell nobody, oh, this is perfectly 100% safe, because we don't know. We really don't. But I do know my body's telling me that it's safer than lighting a cigarette and inhaling all that gunk that you tar, carbon monoxide. It's much safer than that. Okay, so we all know that. We're all not stupid. So, you know, let's fight for the right to vape. Let me wrap this up because I'm rambling on, and I think that up close and personal section with this kiss was long enough. So let me wrap this up. Let you guys go on about your day. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. I really appreciate you watching. Thanks again for subscribing. As you notice, I don't be the one to be like, oh, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I know I'll let you make your own choice. But I really do appreciate all of you guys that do subscribe and do hit the like button. Even the people that hit the dislike button. You know, there's somebody that's out there. Every time I upload a video, he's like the first one to hit the dislike button. I love you too, bro. Don't even worry about it. Keep hitting the dislike button. You know what? It's not going to stop me from making videos, okay? So I really appreciate you guys watching, and you guys have a great and wonderful holiday that's coming up. I forget. I think it's Memorial Day. I'm bad for holidays. I know Christmas because I'm spending a lot of damn money. But anyway, peace.